Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped. Something.
I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny. I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things. Of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
Well, in our last call, you had parts that were concerned about an upcoming medical test.
Yes, and it turned out wonderful. And those 3 weeks were incredible because I spent time with the parts.
Great.
The one that was screaming, we've got to get all. I met the director in a way I've never met her before. It was the morning of the medical test, and I was in the shower, and it was as if she had a clapperboard director's thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying action, and she had parts lined up, and she was going over and over their scripts for how they were going to act. How are you going to act if they say it's cancer? How are you going to act? How are you going to act when you tell your children? How are you let's try it another way. And it was so eye-opening. How many times I was told as a child, you need to act like you care. You need to act like you're sorry. And that part went, okay. And I was able to tell all those other parts, it's okay. You can go back to your trailers. No more auditions. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really interesting. It felt almost out of body, watching the one who was hurting, the one who was afraid, the one who knew that it was going to be a terrible diagnosis. And yeah, it was really a beautiful time.
That's so great.
I know.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, well.
Yeah, I do have something. It doesn't feel, red hot, burning to the touch, but something came up this morning, and I think it's important. Shall I go?
Unless you'd like to have a minute of meditation.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, I'll set a timer.
Okay.
All right. You can start however you'd like.
Okay. I've been in a group, there's 3 of us for 5 years. And I take on leadership roles pretty easily, setting up, okay, does everybody have the phone number? Does everybody have, and somehow it just feels very natural for me. Well, one of the participants in the group is upset with the other participant and the way she's treated in the group. And I don't know how much to say about this. So this morning, we met this week, and we were reading a rather dense passage in a book that we're studying together. And the one woman said to me, well, what is it? What do you think this means? But nothing to the other woman. Okay. And so the other woman is telling me, it doesn't bother me. I'm not letting it bother me, but I'm sad. And
yes.
Okay. And so I get this part that goes, there's a couple of parts. One is going, why don't you call her and tell her how you feel?
Yeah.
The other one is, why don't I call her and tell her how she feels? And both of those feel, I don't know. So that's all I have is.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So both these parts are thinking that would be best for this person, for the group.
Yeah.
Something else you're noticing?
There's a part that just wants to say, why don't you just get over it, to the other woman?
Just get over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. They're all welcome here.
Yeah.
Is there one that you'd like to try to get to know first, or that you feel like needs your attention, or is there some other part or some other way that we might approach this?
Yeah. There's a real it feels like it could be so simple, and so repairing. And I feel like my hands are tied, and there's a real frustration with it.
Yeah.
Because the woman who's hurt, she told me several months ago, don't call on me. Don't ask me when I'm not asked. Don't take care of me, is what she was saying. And I thought, okay, this is a good thing.
And she feels safe enough to tell you that she's feeling sad, and and wants to trust that you won't manage that.
Oh man, that when you use that word, wow. I had a friend years ago that was sharing more and more of her life with me, and she kept adding the caveat, and don't tell your husband. And at some point, she was talking about suicide, and I broke that vow, but there's something in it that feels the same way. that's the feeling that I don't like. It's like, I can trust you not to tell her, but I'm not going to her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, and that's the feeling of your hands being tied and
Yeah.
like, it would be simpler, better if the communication would just flow.
Yeah. And my parents did this.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought, James, so this will be an easy one, you know.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I trust you not to make this better. That's what I feel.
Uh-huh.
And that just,
That upsets the parts of you that want to make it better?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like I'm in a position of always betraying.
Mm-hmm.
To not tell the other woman feels like a betrayal.
Uh-huh. Okay. I wonder if this part is related to or is the same as the parts that we've heard in the past talk about you have to find that key and you have to tell. You have to share. You have to tell James your sins. You have to speak your story.
Yeah.
And if not, well, I'd be curious to know. Yeah, this part says it feels like a betrayal. I wonder if that's at all related.
I think it could be.
Hmm.
You know, there's an underlying threat that the sad woman is going to leave the group.
Right. Right. Yeah, so that's one of the concerns. Okay. Would you like to get to know that part that's got his hands tied a little better?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel towards it?
Can I say something first?
Anything.
Finding the key it feels like I have the key. Nobody wants it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Feel towards.
Okay. How do I feel towards what part?
Well, this one that
Hands tied.
feels like hands tied, yeah.
Mm. I feel a lot of compassion,
Mm-hmm.
but also frustration.
Yeah. And what's the frustration about? It's welcome.
Yeah. It's just stop it.
Stop getting involved.
Why do you keep doing this? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you could let it know that we might find that out if it gives us space.
Okay.
We can learn about what's motivating this part.
Okay. Wow.
Frustrated part okay with that?
Yeah. She's a little skeptical, but I think she's okay.
Okay. If she needs to speak up anymore, she's welcome to.
Okay. Yeah, I feel feel sad when I look at her. I feel
Mm-hmm.
I want to get her out of that place, and I don't know how.
Okay. Okay. We can find out.
Okay.
Yeah. So you could just let her know that you'd like to help her out, that you're feeling compassionate towards her. And you could ask what she wants you to know.
I think she's just surprised that I see her.
Good surprise?
No, more of a it's about damn time surprise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, if it feels right, you can apologize for not
Yeah.
having taken the time sooner or more.
Wow, she's been working a long time.
Yeah, so not just in this situation.
Yeah. Long before it gets to this, she's trying to make sure it doesn't everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And what is her concern if she doesn't work so hard?
Hmm. They won't make up. They'll leave. She'll be alone.
Yeah. Yeah. They won't make up, they'll leave. And then she or other parts of you will feel alone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that make sense to you?
Mhm.
Me too.
Yeah, it's like it's all up to me.
Yeah. You mentioned some of this going on with you and your parents also.
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah. That they wouldn't make up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Even the two words, just they won't make up, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And how it feels so life or death for her.
Right. Well, her being alone.
Yeah, I love this group. I love what we do. I love everything about it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
except for this.
Except for the feeling like it would be life or death if it dissolved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. You can just let her know you see how hard that is for her. That feeling like it is life or death. And that it makes sense. Especially if it's been going on since childhood when being alone is life or death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe if being alone with one of your parents or the other might have been more or less safe.
Well, it's so funny. It's a threesome here, and it's if one leaves, then I've chosen the other, It's like,
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Okay. So this part's really looking out for that, really looking out for you and not feeling so alone.
yeah.
How would it feel to just show that part appreciation for caring about that and working so hard for that?
Yeah.
you could try asking her what she'd rather be doing if it didn't feel like life or death.
Oh,
What she'd rather be doing with her energy.
it's funny. She loves leaving.
She loves leaving.
Yeah. And poetry and connection and
Mm.
it's funny that your description of her was her hands are tied and
Uh-huh.
I can't write without my hands.
Uh-huh.
It's just such an interesting.
Earlier, did you say she loves leading?
Yes.
Okay, I heard leaving.
No, leading. And it's
Got it. Got
you know,
it.
it's the wait, I just had it.
Can't write with tied hands.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many things I want to share, but I'm tiptoeing. You know, if one woman says, "Well, what do you think?" Now I'm thinking about why didn't you ask her? And so I can't, what she wants is to just be able to be herself.
Right. Right. Yeah. Okay. How old does she think that you are?
Oh, 10 or 11.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything she wants to show you about what was going on at that age?
Lots of, you're going to have to make a choice who you want to be with.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much the same because there weren't any divorce papers until I was 17 or 18. But it was constantly threatened.
Yeah.
And you're going to need to decide, is it your dad or is it me? Is it your mom or is it me?
Yeah. And how do you act around each of them?
Right. So everything becomes, how can I make them love each other?
Yeah.
How can I make him stop drinking and yelling? And how can I make her stop? Oh my God. It was just, there wasn't any room for anything else.
Yeah.
And she got so good at it.
Yeah. Right. And the positive qualities of that are leadership, right?
Yeah.
Being able to lead a group.
Mediation.
Uh-huh.
Inclusion. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There were really good things that came out of it. She just wants to live.
Right. Right. Okay. All right. I'll update her with your real age.
It's interesting. It's not a shock. It usually is a shock.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like, yeah, I know you're still doing it. I don't know.
Well, is there still that part of you that feels really terrified of if they don't make up? Does that still feel like it results in you being alone and
Yeah.
life or death? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you could just acknowledge that to this part that you know you have that part of you.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
The part just stepped in and said, just blow it all up. Just call it out. Just say it.
Uh-huh. Yep. You could just ask that one for space.
Okay.
So this leader with the hands tied, what does it need from you going forward?
Oh,
I'm happy to help brainstorm.
yeah. She's not very confident that I can bring it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could use some help here, James.
Okay. Well, there is, my answer to everything is trying to bring self energy to it. So there's this situation with your group and your friends here, and what it would look like to bring self energy to that. Then there's also this other part in you who feels like it's life or death, or has that feeling of being alone. And that could be another solution, is to help her out so she doesn't feel that way, feel stuck with that burden.
Yeah. Yeah. I I've volunteered for the last 12 years, training coaches, and and yesterday was the last call. And it's like I want her to know that I can say goodbye, that we'll be okay. If it doesn't work out, I'm not going to leave you. I mean, it was, yeah.
Yeah. And how much does it, I mean, the part with his hands tied, does it feel like that would help it relax? If
Yeah, it's because there were so many things in that organization, that she wanted and didn't get, and there's a whole lot of it. If you would just see, that there's this, she has such a, it's not that hard. If you would just see, we could, and I wonder, James, if it's a fantasy, but so many times because as children, it's like all you have to do is kiss and make up. Well, there's a whole lot more to it than that.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. There might be a whole lot more to it than let's just tell the other one in the group that this person's sad and
Yeah. 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 That feels important, that it doesn't always work out that way, to tell her that, sometimes there isn't a Prince Charming, sometimes there isn't a kiss and makeup and everything is okay. But I'm not.
Right. Right.
That really landed. Because the whole reason she's afraid of them leaving her is because I've already left her.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, that to me sounds like self's perspective of, yeah, this situation, I do see the sadness here, and I can be compassionate for it, and I can put my love and energy into it, but I also might not have the answer for how to make
Right. Is there
these people are external to me.
right.
You know.
Right. I mean, the only thing I really have any power over is what I'm doing right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. I see how whenever I get these phone calls, she sees me going, they're going to leave. We've got to do something. It's like, I'm not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They may leave. It may all fall apart.
Yeah. Those relationships might fall apart. These relationships in me can be stronger than ever.
Right. Wow.
I'm under the assumption that there is more than one part here, that there might be the protector part that does that leading and that mediating, and then there might be an exile part, which is more like the one who feels left behind, the one who
Yeah.
is stuck and just can't bear that idea of being lonely, being alone.
Right. Yeah. I think you're right. Whew. When you talk about a protector being a mediator and a leader, it's like, no.
No, what?
That's a crucial part. We can't take that job away from her.
Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It's positive, and we know it has positive intent.
Okay.
I don't think protectors are bad. Protector doesn't mean stop doing that.
Okay. Well, some part of me is going, oh no.
No, we don't want to abandon any of our parts.
It reminds me of when you said, I think the meaning maker may be a protector. And I was like, oh, no.
Right. No, there's nothing wrong with making meaning. There's nothing wrong with mediating and leading a group. There's nothing wrong with caring about people and thinking maybe I can speak up and help heal this relationship.
There's something about they're not misinformed, James.
Mm-mm.
They're doing the good work. And it's like, oh my God.
I mean, I believe it. I believe that, well, from what I'm hearing, this is nothing. There's nothing wrong with anything that you've said about what you want for these people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you have a part in you that feels like it's life or death.
Yeah. Yes. That's the part of the protector that you're talking about, right? It's like,
that's what I'm calling an exile.
And yes. Well, but I need to mediate and I need to lead so that
I won't feel that way.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's not always the case, but it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I don't want to take
Boy,
away
I'm
the
sure
jobs
glad.
of any of the protectors.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure glad you've got a compass because I am lost. All right, where are we going?
Well, if it feels right, you could try to tune in and see. I mean, you could even ask this leading mediator protector to kind of show you that exile, to show you that one who it's trying to protect. And if it feels okay with that part.
Okay. Oh yeah. Um, it's a good question because now I see the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she's not strong enough to accept that they might not make up,
Right.
that they'll leave.
Right.
So I'm going to
Yeah. I'm going to fix it.
make sure she leads well, mediates well,
Mm-hmm.
tiptoes, doesn't make a mistake.
Right. Right. Yeah. So we want to get our eyes on this one that's not strong enough to accept when people are breaking up.
Through the eyes of this protector?
I mean, it could be a way in, unless you're already noticing it intuitively, but yeah, you can ask the protector to show you more about that. Who's the one who's not strong enough?
Yeah. She's weak. She's young. She has no tools.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
how old is she?
6th grade.
Okay.
Funny when I heard her say she's weak, she's young, she has no tools. It's like this part is constantly collecting tools.
Right. Right. Protectors have a job to do.
Yeah. Don't go in without your tools.
Right. Right. And when you get their attention and get them to notice you and your current age and your powers to work with parts, and just powers to have that perspective and that compassion for what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this hands tied part, she's really young and she watches Disney every Sunday night. She believes that a fairy can just turn the world into magic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 6th grade?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel towards her?
Oh, so much compassion and so much. I can see, I want to protect her.
Okay.
I want her to think that the world is.
Yeah. Yeah, you see how sad and hard that is for her.
I'm sorry.
You see how hard that is for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And how she's connected to hope.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What do you mean they might leave? What do you mean that if we do all these things, it won't work?
Would it feel right to invite her a little closer, or for you to get a little closer and introduce yourself?
Funny, I've been trying to find the one who has no hope, and I've just stumbled on the one who has hope.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like hope was one of her, something really important to her.
Yeah.
And maybe the leading part with the tools is saying, this girl and her hope isn't gonna do it. We need to get busy here.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, just like I was saying about the protective part, we don't have to change the parts or ask them to change anything. There's nothing wrong with leading and mediating, and there's nothing wrong with Disney movies and hoping.
Yeah.
So we just want to try to understand this part, what it's been like for her, how she's doing.
Well, man, I just wanted them to stay together. I wanted us to be a happy family. And you made me read thousands of books. And, we learned about alcoholism, and we learned about relationships, and we learned about, but now you're telling me it still may not work.
Yeah, you can talk to her about protectors. You have protective parts.
Yeah.
And they're valiant parts. And they might have done a lot of great work.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that you can also see that was part of her not feeling like she could be herself. That was, in a way, at her expense.
Yeah. Huh. I don't know if it's the same protector, but she's saying, yeah, even when it is working out, I'm told that you can't count on it.
Right.
But I see that protector moving closer to this one.
Okay.
Paying some attention to how hard it's been for her.
Yeah, and it also has that self-awareness of it's aware that it's not always that effective.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, you could just let that protector know that you're here now and that you can be, and you can share in that responsibility. You can take over that role of looking out for this little one.
Yeah. I like that. Share the responsibility.
Sure. So a lot of times when I'm at this point meeting in exile, what I'm focusing on is just witnessing them and understanding what it was like for them so that they come to trust you and they can see that you want to understand and that you do understand them.
Yeah, I've been getting glimpses of her in the last several months. But this feels different. Yeah, she's throwing all kinds of things. It's like all I wanted was to tiptoe into magic waters. And I was so quickly, I just see her holding books and, she's got a backpack on and we have to take another class and we have to do another thing. There can't be I can't just believe in goodness.
Can't just relax and
right.
Know that things are going to be all right.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, I think it's really important that you understand what that was like for her. What it was like to wish that they would stay together.
Yeah.
To fear that they wouldn't, and to be pulled around by protectors saying, "We better learn more, study more."
Don't make waves.
Right.
You don't be the reason they leave each other.
Right.
There were so many messages which I see now, that's what happened in this group. It's like, don't step too much into the spotlight. Keep deferring. Don't be too honest. Don't be too this. Don't be too that.
Yep.
And they'll stay.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you taking in how hard that was for her?
Yeah, I am. The reason is just so, to be able to see all she's ever wanted and how much that's been. Well, the only way you can get it is like this.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. She didn't deserve that.
No, she didn't.
And you can offer her something different.
Mm. Kind of at a loss.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll just tell you again where I am with this, what I'm thinking. When we meet in exile, we've got to witness and understand how they're doing it and check that they trust us. That can take some time. It's not something to be rushed.
Right.
Particularly if, like you said, this other protector is kind of close at hand. This part may or may not feel comfortable opening up all the way right here, right now with you. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. So that's probably just where I would focus is now and in the future, just getting back to this part and really understanding what it was like for her and getting space from those protectors so that you can hear her out.
Right.
And after that, offering some of those steps like redoing, going back in her time, being there for her in the way she needed someone, inviting her out of that time. And keeping her close.
Okay.
Does it feel like she is kind of aware of you there and that she feels how does she feel about your presence?
I sense that she wants to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you could ask her what she needs going forward to facilitate that.
I keep hearing she needs a name.
Okay.
Don't know.
Could ask her what she'd like to be called.
Okay. Hopeful.
Okay. Okay. So we have a name, we have an age.
Yeah.
That'll help you find her later.
Thank you, James.
Mm-hmm. We've got this recording that I will share and make sure that it is actually listenable for you.
It was so funny because I was able to hear the other one, and then I got called away, and when I went back, because I thought I really want to see where we were, but it wouldn't work on my phone or my computer.
Sorry, was it a YouTube video?
Uh-huh.
I wonder if it's one that I already scheduled to be published and that has moved it into the private for some reason. It makes it private.
It said. And then it was like,
yeah.
To do.
Okay. I'll follow up and or maybe it's going to be published in a day or two, but
that's fine.
Yeah, I'll make it available. I'll make this call available. Any other intentions that you'd like to set or that this young one would like to request?
There's just something I think I just probably need to write and be still, but there's something about this hopeful. I'm starting to see how I've joked about her and and put her off. Like, of course you can hope, but and then the protector would show up. It's just, it's coming in bits and pieces and fragments, but I thought surely I wouldn't cry today, but here we are again.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like you have some familiarity with her, but it hasn't been just from one-on-one self-energy kind of place,
right,
and that's why she's getting joked about and this and that, yeah, that's probably why she wants to know that it's safe for her to be herself.
Yeah. To be in the room and be acknowledged rather than like, oh yeah, I once did that, or we can do that as soon as this is done.
Right. Right.
Thank you, James.
You're welcome. Thank you. Is there anything else? Any other concerns or questions or anything we skipped?
I don't think so. I think it's just I just had no idea. I thought, well, this one seems kind of like I said, it's not red hot.
Yeah.
It's just a little snag in my silk, and then it's like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
It was really a good lesson for me to, when anything snags my silk, can I turn and just say, what's happening?
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a threat of cancer.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you,
I'll
James.
follow up with you and get you back on the calendar as soon as possible.
Okay. Thanks so much. Have a great one.
You too. Okay. Bye. Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows? That might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.